This is Brazil's leftist former president Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, known simply as Lula. Lula and Brazil's far-right current president Jair Bolsonaro are buckling up for 4 more weeks of intense election campaigning. The incumbent's unexpectedly strong showing in the presidential election on Sunday set up a tight runoff vote for October 30th, in Brazil's most fraught election since the end of military rule in 1985.
No segundo turno, eu acredito que as coisas serão mais organizadas e a sociedade brasileira vai aprender com muita rapidez a diferença entre a nossa candidatura, que defende a verdade e a democracia, que defende um estado de bem-estar social, que defende a participação efetiva da mulher, dos negros na política.
4 years ago, Lula watched from a jail cell as his party was crushed in the last presidential election. Now he's promising to restore calm in a country polarized by Bolsonaro's far-right populism. Here's what you need to know about Lula. Lula, a former union leader, led Brazil from 2003 to 2010 during a commodities boom driving robust economic growth. That helped him lift millions from extreme poverty and expand access to education and healthcare. He left office with an unprecedented 87% approval rating. But his legacy was tarnished by a deep recession overseen by his hand-picked successor and former chief of staff, Dilma Rousseff, who was impeached for breaking budget rules. Lula saw his political career in tatters after being convicted of corruption and jailed for a year and a half. Bolsonaro rode into office on a wave of antipathy towards Lula's Workers' Party. Last year, Brazil's Supreme Court annulled Lula's convictions.
E 4 anos depois, eu estou aqui votando com reconhecimento da minha total liberdade e com a possibilidade de voltar a ser presidente da República desse país para tentar fazer o país voltar à normalidade. O país que eu deixei.
Lula 2.0 has emerged as a pragmatic politician, promising to return the country to normal. He vows to fight rising hunger and unemployment, beef up environmental protections, and better protect marginalized groups, while channeling credit into national industries to create jobs and restore solid growth. He has forged a broad center-left coalition of 10 parties while reaching out to the business community. With his gravelly voice and grandfatherly charm, Lula's unquestionable asset is his ability to speak to Brazilians from all walks of life, from a worker in the Northeast to Brazil's business elite.
Eu adoro fazer campanha, adoro ir para a rua, adoro fazer comício, adoro subir em caminhão, sabe? Adoro discutir com a sociedade brasileira.
For running mate, Lula chose his rival in the 2006 election, former Sao Paulo Governor Geraldo Alckmin, whose moderate views have reassured some investors. This is perhaps the biggest question surrounding the vote. Political violence is on the rise in Brazil. Bolsonaro, a former army captain, has said repeatedly he might not accept an election loss, while claiming the army is on his side. Lula won the most votes in Sunday's presidential election, securing 48.4% of votes versus 43.2% for Bolsonaro. Neither secured the over 50% needed to avoid a runoff. For many, he is still the favorite to win later in October. But most analysts see a military coup as unlikely in the event of a Lula win. Still, many fear a period of protracted political violence and economic disruption.